In today's video, we're gonna get out of this freaking RV park and go explore some of the Florida Keys. So let's go. What is going on, YouTube? Greetings from just southwest of Miami, Florida. I'm here in an RV park. It's a Thousand Trails park. It's decent. It's a resort. It's got a swimming pool. It's got a hot tub. It's got a little miniature golf thing, basketball court. It's nice, but I've kind of been stuck here for about a week. It's been pretty cold here in Florida, in the 40s at night and barely in the 60s during the day. I know some of you are up north just laughing at that being cold weather, but for Florida, that's pretty cold, and you can't do the Florida stuff you want to do, like go snorkeling, go to the beach, all that kind of stuff. Today, the high is 75, so not exactly a heat wave, but I've got to get out of this RV park. I've decided to take the van instead of the motorcycle. The reason being, the van's been sitting here about a week. There's all kinds of tree limbs, leaves, and all kinds of crazy stuff on top of my roof. And I want to kind of get the van out to stretch its legs, you know, that kind of thing. We're gonna head to a key called North Key Largo. It's, as the name implies, just north of Key Largo. It's about 40 minutes away from here, so not a bad drive. But the first thing I gotta do is get this rig ready for departure. I don't think I've ever showed that before, so let's go ahead and I'll show you what I do when I'm getting ready to leave a campsite. So obviously I've got to open the front windows, so that's what I'm gonna go do. I think I've showed these in past videos. They're really cool. They're made by Van Made Gear. They have magnets sewn into them, so they just clip right up into my side windows. They make it really easy. Usually when I'm driving, I'll just throw them on my bed. Sometimes I'll put them in the overhead if I don't want to put them in, but normally I just throw them on my bed because I'm going to throw them back on there when I get back anyway. All right, next up, I got to turn my seats around. All right, now I gotta clean up all these odds and ends so stuff isn't flying everywhere while I'm driving. If you remember from my last video, my organizational video where I got these little boxes, I had a fourth one and it didn't fit up there, but I've made good use of it. If you watch that organizational video, you'll know I put a bunch of stuff on my bed. So I started using this extra box here to put all those ins and outs in. Also, this stuff, this is where my bamboo plant used to be. I need to replace that. And of course my Keurig. And I've had them here since I first bought my van. They've never moved, even driving on bumpy washboard roads in national forests. So I highly recommend this sticky putty stuff. This stuff just hasn't moved. These are stuck on with sticky putty as well. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know these have been on here since day one as well. All right, the rest of the stuff I need to do is outside. So let's head outside and get this van ready to go. All right, so the first thing I need to do is unhook the water and the electricity. I'm actually gonna leave all this stuff here. This campground seems pretty safe. I will turn this off, however, I won't leave it on. How safe do you think it is to just leave my stuff here if I'm gonna leave and come back? Think it's good? Okay, thanks. So what's really cool about this Thousand Trails is there's like 10 groundskeepers and maintenance guys running around, and they keep a really good eye on the park. I just asked him if it would be okay if I left this stuff here, because I know some of you would say something about it, and he said it's good to go. All right, one more thing to do here. All right, so back here, all I've got to do is take these down. It's not like I can see out of my back windows anyway, but I take them down anyway. One last thing, because I know I'm gonna get a comment about it. I will have my sunscreen on, 50 SPF. I've already put it on my face and my head, but I know if I don't mention that, I will get 1 million comments, but I will have my sunscreen on. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go check out some keys. So this RV park hasn't been too bad, but it's definitely making me realize how much I enjoy camping at BLM land, National Forest land, places like that I can't really find here in Florida. There is a little bit in Central Florida, but not really that much. the route we're headed is not the traditional route you would take to get to the Keys, which is usually US 1. We're actually going to take a toll road because we're going to North Key Largo. I could take US 1, but it's the long way. And the reason I'm going to North Key Largo is I think it's probably a lot less visited than the rest of the Keys. I've heard that the bridge that you cross to get there is actually pretty cool. And there's a really cool park called Big Hammock Park or something like that. So I want to go check that out. If you're enjoying this video, please hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. All right, so these Florida toll roads confuse the crap out of me. Sometimes you get a ticket, sometimes it says by plate, but a couple times I've been on a toll road where there was no ticket. Then I got to the end of the toll road and there's a little booth where you have to stop and give them your ticket or you have to pay the full charge. It's so confusing. I'm assuming that at some point I'm gonna have a bunch of toll charge envelopes from Florida in my mailbox waiting for me. It's really weird. I just got on with no ticket, but I bet you when I go to get off this thing, there'll be a ticket booth and I'll get charged. So if you're from Florida and you know how these things work, let me know. Look at the name of this. Crocodile Lake. Wait a second. There aren't any crocodiles in the United States, I don't think. Huh, that's interesting. Why, if you're from Florida and you know why it's called Crocodile Lake, let me know. That's odd. Also, what is the difference between a crocodile and an alligator? That's a serious question. I have no idea. I think crocodiles get bigger, but I don't know if that's the only like distinguishing characteristic. So yeah, if you know the difference between a crocodile and an alligator, without Googling it, because I could just do that, let me know down in the comments. Okay, so this is probably a little less known place in the Keys. It's in North Key Largo. It's called Anna Dagny Johnson Key Largo Hammock Botanical State Park. This also used to be a housing project a long time ago. It was abandoned. So recently they've went in and gotten rid of all that stuff. And so eventually these mangroves and the tropical forest here will reclaim that area. So that's pretty cool. And there is a park admission fee here. It says $2.50. It's like on the honor system. There's no envelopes, even though it says there should be. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna throw $3 in there into where you slide the envelope. All right, it went in. So this is not a national park, it's a state park. And it's really pretty. It's supposed to be about 1.5 miles. So we'll see. So far, it's just a big, giant road, basically. I'm sure this is probably left over from when they were gonna build a housing project here. I'm assuming they probably laid down some roads, because it looks like an older road. But I can also see why they would, why people would want to turn this into a housing project. It's really pretty back here. It's really, really thick. Really, really thick forest. Tropical type, jungle type stuff. There's also a lot of signs in here that tells you what you're looking at. So here we're looking at black bead. So it's just a shrub. So That's pretty cool that it tells you what you're looking at. There's also a relative to poison oak in here that you got to be careful of. I don't know what it looks like. Maybe we'll see a sign that shows us what that looks like. So I'm kind of like, I'm really allergic to poison ivy and poison oak. Oh, cool. There's a little pit toilet in here just in case you get back from the hike and you need to use the restroom and you don't have a cool Winnebago Travato with a bathroom in it like I do. Okay, speak of the devil, I found the poison oak type stuff. Here, let me show you real quick. So that is the stuff you don't want to touch, the poison wood. You can also see the remnants here of the old housing development, which is really fascinating to me. I mean, obviously this is a really easy hike. As you can see, there's little benches. It's a perfect place to come if you're not into the adventurous, go into the wilderness type of hike. You want like a paved hike. Looks like back here, there's some little bitty side roads, like dirt roads. It looks like there's actual trails. So I'm probably not gonna do one of these trails because I'm in sandals. But looks like there's actual real trails. And hit up some of these nature trails. Like, that's kind of cool and unexpected. Ooh, hold on a second. All right, I asked this question about a crocodile earlier. Apparently, there are American crocodiles. So there are some American crocodiles in here, I guess. That's a little concerning, that crocodile thing. So let's see what happens. All right, so I can see why there might be crocodiles now. Over here, I think you can see there's some water over here. And of course, now that I've seen a sign that says there's crocodiles, I'm hearing every little sound that happens in the woods. So here you can see in here. I don't know if you can see that, but the water is really crystal clear. I'm gonna try to get a little closer. I know this makes some of you really nervous when I do this, but I don't know, I feel comfortable. I feel okay. Oh man, hold on. Maybe not. Oh man, the water is so clear though. I want you to see it. Hopefully I can get it. I don't know what alligator tracks look like, but that might be what those are over there. All right, look at that. Can you see that water? It's so pretty. That's such a pretty environment over here. All right, I'm a little bit freaked out, so I'm gonna head back on to the main trail. Okay, as we get deeper into here, it's getting kind of cool actually. Getting a little bit more tropical and wildernessy than I thought it was gonna be at first. There's a sign that says you can do a half loop or a full loop here. So since I'm pretty out of shape, I think we're gonna go for the full loop because I need the exercise and I think it'll make better video, give us a better chance of maybe seeing a crocodile or an alligator. That'll be really interesting. I'd love to show you one. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna get too close to it if I find one, but you know, fingers crossed there's one in a distance that I can, you know, capture on film. I think it would just be really cool to see one in the wild. I just don't want to see one up close. A lot of you in a previous video had expressed a little concern about snakes. You're like, Kevin, you really need to look out for snakes. And I lots of times hike in sandals, which probably isn't the smartest thing. I am pretty hyper aware of snakes. Here's a little fun fact about me. I was bit by a poisonous snake when I was a kid. I was bit by a copperhead when I was 11 years old. I spent a week in the hospital because of it. It was a pretty crazy experience. It's one of those like fun facts, like 3 truths. I always have a pretty cool one. I was bit by a poisonous snake. You can actually see the fang marks. I don't know if you'll be able to see them in this video, but one of them is right there. Bit me on this finger here. I don't know if you can see that. But one of them's there, and then one's on top of my knuckle here. You probably won't be able to see that one in the camera. It's kind of faded over time, but you can definitely see the one on the side of my finger. If you were here, I'd show you. I don't know if it picked up on the camera very well, but yeah, so I'm very hyper aware of snakes for sure. That was a good little hike. It was about almost 2 miles, not quite. Yeah, I think it's worth a stop if you're in North Key Largo. So it's about an hour from sunset. So I'm gonna drive south and try to find somewhere to watch the sunset. Not sure if I'll be able to find one, but we're gonna give it a try. All right, so I found a spot to watch the sunset. It's a public park. Closes a half an hour after sunset. So let's head down there and see what kind of sunset we get from Key Largo. So I decided to kind of hike away from the crowd. The water's really pretty here. It's really clear. If I wasn't going to try to capture the sunset, I would put the GoPro in the water, but I want to make sure I have my lens clear for the sunset. Although I'm kind of looking over towards the sunset spot, and you're not really going to be able to see it on the water. I think there's like a bunch of mangroves out there, but it's still going to be pretty nonetheless, I think. All right, I think this is going to be our little sunset spot. Hopefully nobody else comes over here.
Not every van life day is perfect. We have our ups and downs just like any other lifestyle. But the ups seem to be higher and more frequent, and I'm just so thankful that I get to live this life and share some of the experiences with you. Thank you for watching.